All right, gang. When it comes to CAPWAP, we know what? That we've got split MAC. We know that we have a division of labor between the access point and the wireless LAN controller. We also know that with CAPWAP, we end up having mobility controllers and mobility agents, and that these are separate responsibilities. The agent providing the tunnel endpoints in the database of clients, whereas the controller is actually managing the central roaming and also dealing with intrusion prevention and some other high-level sets of tools. So while we're on the subject of roaming, another point of discussion is the PoP and the PoA. All right, the PoP, point of presence, and the point of attachment. So remember what happens when a client gets connected into our wireless environment. Yes, physically they're connecting to an access point, but does the access point then give them access to the switch network? No, not in a lightweight situation like what we're using right now. Instead, we now have a secure tunnel formed directly to the wireless LAN controller. All of these devices are going to be seen as having an entry point into the network from the wireless LAN controller, not from the access point itself. Nope, way up there. So what does that mean for us? Well, it means that as far as the wired network is concerned, the point of presence, the point at which a wireless client appears on the wired network, is right there at that wireless LAN controller. Now, that's important because if a device should end up roaming, what do we need to make sure doesn't change? Well, how about their IP address? One of the key things about the point of presence is that it anchors the client IP address. So this client left this wireless LAN and moved into the wired LAN on this VLAN that was associated with this IP stack and had a particular IP address. If that device should roam and end up getting connected to a different access point, and then later get connected to a different wireless LAN controller, that wireless LAN controller needs to also use the same IP address for that client. It has to be the same, has to be on the same VLAN, everything has to be consistent. Otherwise, I'm going to drop my VoIP connections and things like that. I will lose data midstream, and I want to allow for roaming to occur seamlessly. So the point of presence idea allows for that. Now, point of presence is where I initially attach to the network. It's what anchors me and keeps me stable. It's also associated with my security policies that'll be applied to me. The point of attachment is, well, what am I hanging off of right now? So initially, when a client starts working with a wireless network managed through a wireless LAN controller, their point of presence and the point of attachment are the same thing. I got onto this wireless LAN controller, and I'm currently on this wireless LAN controller. But then later, if they roam and they move from one controller to another, one access point to another, and this access point is associated with another controller, then the point of attachment has changed. Now the PoA is over here on the right-hand side. So that moves, and that is actually specifically important for keeping track of where the user is right now, right? We need to know where they are in the network, and for quality of service to make sure that that is functioning correctly on that particular wireless LAN controller. We need to know where they are right now. So this is what's keeping track of our overall roaming behavior. Pretty cool. PoP, PoA, just a couple of values associated with the identity of the wireless LAN controllers that allow for roaming to function quickly and seamlessly.